In my past, I think I manifested through aggression. I was an athlete, had a lot of success.
Maybe through aggression, but certainly through focus. So don't just put it all into a kettle and call it wrong. A lot of good stuff went on. Yeah?
Yeah, absolutely. What I'm finding now is I'm getting a lot of momentum, good momentum in a natural way. I'm aligning, I'm getting into the vortex, and some magical things are happening. Absolutely love it.
Feels like magic. You'll get used to it and you won't call it magic anymore, but it does feel sort of magical when the entire universe works on your behalf and you get it. Yeah.
Absolutely. What I'm finding now is my resonance is very close to this place.
We like all the words that you're finding as a result of what we've been talking about here today. You're right up to speed with where we are. That's a good thing.
What I'm finding is that this momentum, and with these conversations, it's just absolutely perfect.
Yeah.
I'm finding that somebody will come in and it's like contradicting that vibration that I'm feeling, and I'm falling out of the vortex pretty quickly, pretty harshly into this contradictory aggression place where I'm trying to effort over them to win versus aligning back into the vortex. I'm wanting some smoothing out of this energy because it's rough. And I'm wanting more ease as opposed to roughness.
Well, acknowledgement of it is certainly the most important thing about it. We said to parents a short time ago, when you find yourself feeling that more than wobble, as you say, that really disconnect, that's too strong a word, but from who you are, say to whoever it is that you are with, I'm really out of alignment right now, and use whatever words they can hear. I'm really in a bad mood right now. And I'm going to remove myself from this so that I don't expose you all to it. Be nice to them about it. Don't blame them. And I'm going to go off and I'm going to find my alignment. And once I find it, I'll be back. And then leave the room and find your alignment. And when you find it, go back so that you've shown yourself that you have control of the way you feel. Give us more about this. You heard earlier that if there's too much momentum about it, then you just got to go with it because you're not going to be able to do anything about it. But at least you know that you're going with it because there's momentum about it. And at least you know that there will be opportunities for that momentum to subside where you can get another run at it. This really is why we introduced step 5 to the equation, because it's perfectly normal. In fact, it's more normal. The analogy that we've offered for years is, if you're going 5 miles an hour and you hit a tree, it's no big deal. If you're going 100 miles an hour and you hit a tree, it's a bigger problem. So once you get accustomed to this high-flying, good-feeling momentum of alignment, then when you step out of it, because there's some hot button that has been activated by someone, it is a rough ride. But it's a good thing that it has happened because it is showing you that there's something that's easily activated that doesn't need to be so easily activated. And in time, you can soften it. You can leave it in another place. Now, here's the remedy for that. And we know that you'll be able to hear this. So let's say that something happens and you have that big bump and you know it, and it upsets you substantially and it lasts for a while. And then you compound it by being mad at yourself as you proclaim that you're still not good enough at this deliberate creating stuff. So that's what your attitude about it is. But then let's say that you, maybe at a later date, maybe tomorrow or even the next day, you sit to meditate, you quiet your mind, you stop thought, and you know you've done it. We'll talk more about that before the seminar ends, about effective ways to go about that quieting of your mind. You quiet your mind, which means you've stopped thought, and your vibration rises, and you are in this place of detachment. Now, you're not thinking about anything. You're not trying to fix anything. You're just in this place of alignment with source energy. And it's easy to be in that place of alignment with source energy because you're not trying to work the bugs out of what happened the other day. Your mind is quiet from that, and in the absence of that conversation, you find perfect resonance with your inner being. So you just rest in that resonance, maybe for the 15 minutes, maybe it didn't happen till the end, but when you come out of your meditation that day, you are vibrationally different, which we want to sort of say makes you even better prepared for what happened a couple of days ago than you were then, because now your vibration is in a more secure, more sustained place. So let's say that that's that. You go right back into the same relationship, whether it's work or personal or whatever it is. Again, it happens. But it's different this time, although it might be so subtly different, it might not even feel different to you. But it's different this time because of what you accomplished there. It's different this time, even though it might not feel very different this time. And so then you walk away from it because it is what it is. You don't beat up on yourself about it because you know that doesn't help. You meditate the next morning when you wake up. You're not thinking about that again because you've quieted your mind. Your vibration rises, and your inner being is taking into account everything that you've lived and everything that you want. And because of that experience that you had that first day and that second day, there's something different in your vortex that your inner being now is even more. So now as you find resonance with your inner being, you're more solution oriented than you were before. Haven't fixed it all together. So now you come out of meditation, you feel pretty good. You go back into the same relationship because you live with them or you work with them, and boom, it happens again. But this time you notice a little subtle difference. What Esther says is, I still have negative emotion, but now sometimes things happen that would have kept me stewing for a week, that now I stew for 5 minutes, because your relationship with them has changed, because your true knowing is more active within you. And you can reach the point where one day at a time, you work the vibrational bugs out of every relationship you have in this way. It doesn't change them necessarily unless they're open for change. It changes your reaction to them. What really happens, and we've not said this clearly before, and you all are maybe the first ones ready to hear this because of what we've already been talking about here today. You have now, through meditating on a pretty regular basis, shown yourself where your true resonance is and the true resonance that you seek. And now you are so less inclined to look for it there or care about whether you find it there or not. Nobody's going to let you down ever again when you discover where your true resonance is. Oh, but when you're looking for it there and not finding it, then that's why it's such a big bump. It isn't what they did or who they are or what the situation is. It's the absence of the resonance, and the more you find it, the more the absence of it will bother you. So you've got two choices. You don't really, but let's just play like you do. You can ask your inner being to turn its attention of you off altogether so that you won't feel that tug of war. That's the one you can't do. Or the one you can do is care less about finding resonance here. And really, haven't we hit upon something really steadily active within you? Isn't the negative emotion that you have really about trying to get someone to understand what you mean? You have a saying in your vocabulary, it's like trying to squeeze blood out of a turnip, trying to get something out of it that isn't there to begin with. It's like trying to get from someone. Now, once they've meditated and once they're shored up and once they're in alignment, then you might get some of the things that you want from them because they're tuned into the same source that you're tuned into. But you just cannot get there from there. And after a while, it will become less important. And then something wonderful happens. It's a sort of flipping that takes place in you. And instead of looking there for something that you're not going to get, you look there for something that you might give, like steadiness, like centeredness, like love, like sureness, like confidence, like empowerment. Yeah.
Very good. You've answered probably about 20 questions in that. You're quite good. Thank you.